Hey lovies, welcome to my channel, Craft Away with May. I'm May. Welcome to my old and new subbies. I'm so glad to have you all here with me today. We are doing some just regular old home decor ideas, some fun pieces for you guys. You spoke up, I listened, so I just wanted to throw something together for you guys and hopefully inspire you in some way. So we're going to start with these decorative crates from Dollar Tree. Now these came out a couple years ago. I don't see them very often anymore. I just see the regular crates now in the stores. I am going to be using one of the regular ones as well. So if you guys don't have these decorative ones, I was just using them because they were in my stash, but you can use the regular crates as well. So what you saw I was doing there is just taking some hot glue and some wood glue from Dollar Tree to put those two together, to seal them and close them together. Then I'm going in with some of my fusion paint and there's a beautiful grayish blue color. I thought this would be super cute to make into a wall hanging piece. So once I get them glued together, I'm going to take two of my little macrame rings here that I did get off of Amazon, and I'm going to take one of these beaded garlands from Dollar Tree. Now they came in two different styles, the ones that I found. I've had them in my stash for quite a few months now, and I just didn't know what I was going to do with them. And so you could just simply lay them out in a vignette or something like that. It really doesn't matter. But what I wanted to do here was take those beads because I felt like the color of those beads went really well with this piece. And so I'm just cutting them down. Originally, I wasn't going to use the whole string of beads, but as I went through it, I was like, you know what? It will probably work better with all of them. So that's what you kind of see I'm doing here. I'm just kind of playing around with the length to see if it's gonna work. I wasn't really sure how low it was gonna hang, but once I got them on there, it started coming together visually for me. So I just literally, how they were lined up on the original jute twine, which I could have left. No, actually I couldn't have left it because when I cut it down, it didn't give me much room to tie the little knots in the end that I knew I was going to need that room for. But anyway, I just pulled them over exactly how they were originally. So then I'm just going to pull the string through. As you can see here, this is all really self-explanatory. I could totally shut up right now and just let you guys watch it. But because my mouth is like a waterfall, I just keep going. Just keep talking. So literally I pull the string through, I tie it off on that macrame ring because that's going to keep it, of course, from sliding through those little holes there. Now the holes are the openings there. They're not lined up exactly, perfectly, because I had to turn the crates at a different angle basically to make them come together in the center. So the pattern is a little off, but it still allowed the piece to hang okay. I was a little concerned about it if it was going to be a little lopsided, but it didn't. And I could have used a few extra beads here, or I could have tied the string down a little bit more. But y'all know me, it's not going to stop a flow. It's just going to keep, I'm going to keep going, okay? One or two extra beads, and that's an easy fix. But just to get through this video, I just rolled with it and I glued everything down. Here I used hot glue, so that's easy to just pop off and reconnect if I need to. So then next I'm going to take some of these Dollar Tree river rocks that you can find everywhere. They have them all year round most of the time. But and then I have these two little scrap picks. Now these are just some I picked out of my stash because I felt like that bright color would look really good against that dark color of the crates. Now you can totally do whatever type of florals you want. You can put some LED candles in here. You can also use the top as a shelving unit. Like, the options are endless. I like pieces like this because they can be decorative as well as functional. So you can, you can put your keys in there if you want to, honestly. But that's it. Like, it's so simple. And we're going to move on into project number 2. Now, I'm going to use some paper from my girl Brandy from the TDS designs are, I'm sorry, the DIY struggle, which is tds.com. And I'm going to use some of her tissue paper here, and I wanted to use the one that had peaches on it, so I did cut that out. I didn't take you guys through the whole thing of that. It was literally just cutting out the section that said peaches on it. Then I'm going to take another one of the regular crates from Dollar Tree. I stained that in the burnt umber. I have this little door frame that comes in a pack of 3 from Hobby Lobby for 99 cents. I love working with these because they're just so cute and tiny, and I stained them both, like I said, in that burnt umber. Now I'm going to go in and try to put some hinges on here. Now, because I have some little chunky monkey fingers, I was having a time getting this thing on here. So I did have to use a little bit of hot glue to hold it in place while I put the little teeny tiny screws in there. And I do that on the top and bottom right there. Now, because I'm not good at putting hinges on anything, I don't think I've ever put hinges on really anything outside of crafts. I put it on here so this door does not close. It stays open the whole time. I wanted it to close, but I think what it was, the hinges were not big enough, and if I used my bigger hinges, it would have been too big for this piece. So, I was like, you know what, it's gonna look fine, and you guys can tell me when you see it at the final reveal. But what we're doing right here, what I did out of order here. I went into the crate, I put a whole bunch of Mod Podge in there because I'm going to be decoupaging. But I was supposed to do that after I prep the paper, the tissue paper. So what I'm doing right here is I'm taking my water pen, going around the edges of this tissue paper, and I'm just shredding it off a little bit because I want it to not look so sharp when I put it down in there. First, I was going to leave it just cut how I had it, but I was like, I don't like the flow of that. So I opted to, like I said, go in with the water pen to shred out the little edges around it. And I really like that because it blends very well into the crate. So the next one I'm doing is I'm taking some water and just spritzing it on the paper, and that's just softening it up, making it a bit more pliable and easier to use when I go down in that crate. Now, I will admit I did get a little heavy-handed here. I wasn't paying attention, and I was spritzing, and I was like, oops, I really saturated this paper. So there was a slight tear in it as I was putting this in, but it just added to the rustic charm. So, it was a win-win. So right here, I'm just using my little Cricut tool. This one came from Dollar Tree, the weeding tool, and I'm just kind of using that to press down in those little crevices to make sure it's really nice and tucked up in there. And that's where the little tears occurred. But again, it didn't stop the world from turning. It was still going. Everything was flowing nicely. So I was like, okay, now you will see a lot of Mod Podge still left over, but once that Mod Podge dries, it will dry clear. So we don't have to stop, dreaming our dreams because of that. All right. So then right here is where I'm like, okay, we're going to go ahead and add the little window onto the front of the crate. And, I was trying to line it up again. I'm like, okay, get it together, May. We know you trying to line up stuff and measuring and things like that. That's not your gift. But I was, I made it work, okay? And I got them put on there, right? So then I'm just going to go in with some of these fairy lights, and I'm going to put it right up at the top because you guys know how I like to light things up around here. So I'm putting that right at the top. Make sure I'm putting it where I can remove that battery pack if I need to. Then I'm going to take these 1-inch medallions I had in my stash, and I'm going to use that to cover those holes on the top and the bottom. Now, I don't know if this was necessary. I feel like it was because I am going to be adding in some moss to this, just because, I felt like I needed it. I don't know. I don't know. It kind of took me in a woodlands kind of vibe. I don't know, y'all. I just knew, I was like, okay, should I put like a little handle on the top of this, or should I cover it with moss? And because the little scenery had the little peaches in the background and the greenery, I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna follow through with this greenery vibe. And so that's where the moss came in. So I'm just putting a little bit, not too much, because I don't want to take away from the picture in there. So I'm just putting a good little amount. And then I had these faux peaches in my stash. Now, I got these, I think, off of Amazon some years ago, and they're so cute because they look like real tiny, cute little peaches. They even have a little fuzzy texture to them. And so I'm just taking so a little dab of hot glue, because I do reuse these. I'm just going to take a little bit of that hot glue and put it up in there, and then I'm going to situate those little peaches. Guys, I can't wait for you guys to see this. It looks so adorable. It really is a cute piece, and the options are endless here. You can really put any type of decoupage paper in there. And I don't know if you guys recall, but if you want, you can go back to the beginning of the video. I was showing you some frames that came from Dollar Tree. They have a 4-pack of frames, 2 styles that I found. You can do the same thing using those frames on here. So if you don't have the ones from Hobby Lobby, or you can't get to a Hobby Lobby, you can get the ones at Dollar Tree. Now the price is better at Hobby Lobby because you get 4 for 99 cents, where here you only get you for Dollar Tree you get the 4 for $1.25. So just keep that in mind. But I'm just going in, adding the moss on top of the little crate. I put a little bit on top of the window because since it's going to be open and not closed, I thought it was really funny. It wouldn't close, but I probably should have put the hinge on the inside. I don't know. Anyway, you guys will see everything in the final reveal, lovies. If you are new to my channel, I like to show everything at the end of the video, all in one scoop, so you can get a good dose of what we created today. So stick around for that. But right now, we're going to go ahead and jump into project number 3, which is terracotta teacup number 29. We are 1 away from 30. What? Oh my goodness. So terracotta teacup number 29, guys. This was a special one, okay? This one had a little bit of May shenanigans going on, but we made it happen, okay? So my original thought was, and I was really surprised nobody had suggested this one, but it was supposed to be a waterfall. Excuse me. And the thought process I had behind it didn't quite work out. So I didn't do a waterfall, but a waterfall is coming, okay? So this one kind of turned into kind of like a little river fairy garden, if you will, okay? So right here, I painted the terracotta the terracotta pot in burnt umber for both the saucer and the cup. As you guys can see, I'm going in with some of my wood sticks here that I had in my stash. I'm taking some more of those river rocks and just putting them on there. Now what I put on the inside of that terracotta pot was a little round disc that I had. I would think it was probably about excuse me, 2 inches. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that, guys. And so then I'm just putting the rocks throughout. Here's what you see I'm doing. And so once I get them situated, I don't glue those down just yet. So what I'm doing is just making sure they're all placed kind of evenly and flat. Sorry, guys. Something is tickling my throat. I don't know what's happening. So then, sorry. Oh, my eyes are watering up and everything. Oh my goodness. All right. Okay. So then right here, I'm going to take a little bit more of that moss and I'm just going to start putting it throughout, okay? So quite a few people did suggest a fairy garden. So that's why I decided to take it in this direction. What you see I did right there was took a half of my macrame ring. I left that in the natural wood color, placed that on top to make it look as though the cup is flowing into the saucer, right? You guys have seen that done many places, on many platforms. So then I go in with some of my Elmer's school glue, and I start pouring it down. And this is where I was thinking, like, okay, we can kind of make it like a waterfall coming through the rocks and everything, the moss and all that kind of stuff. But it was looking like it at first, but it just started absorbing that glue. And I was like, okay. So I poured and poured, and I did have some overflow. So I scooped up as much as I could, but I had to stop. And so it did give it a glossy look. You can't really tell on here, but it did end up giving it a slight glossy look. So right here I have some little miniature animals, and I wanted to put like, because somebody had asked me to add some farm animals in, but I was like, well, you know, we'll do a farmhouse theme one on down the road. But I had these little miniature animals, so I went in with like a little bunny. At first I put a horse down there, but you're gonna see in a few seconds I switch it out for a reindeer instead. And that was just because I'm like, well, 'tis the season is coming. If I want to keep this up throughout the year, then I can do that. Which I really think it doesn't matter. You could do it either way. But anyway, here I had some little miniature roses. I was trying to play around with to see what they look like. And I know roses don't usually bloom during, you know, the fall and winter months. But this is what I had. I wanted some pop of color here because it was just all so brown and green. And I wanted to bring in some little pops of color. So look beyond that, okay? Look beyond the roses, all right? So I'm just going to clip off a few of those and just kind of put them out randomly. I'm not sure, like when I'm looking at this talking to you guys, it looks really far away to me. So I hope you guys have a good visual on it. If not, I'll try to enhance the visual for you guys so you can really see. But here is where I decided to go in with the little reindeer. Kind of looks like a little horse, but the color was a lot lighter than the horse. That's why I opted for the reindeer. And then next, I'm going to take one of these little miniature ladders that I ordered off of Amazon and I had in my stash. And I thought that would be super cute on here, you know, in case the reindeer wanted to go up the ladder and go to the top part of this. No, I don't know. Anyway, so then I had these little cute teeny my little, I mean, they're like super teeny butterflies, right? And I found these on Amazon haul and they were only a couple of bucks, and I was like, they will look so cute in here. So I just randomly put them throughout as well, again trying to incorporate a little bit of color here. And I know it's kind of hard to see, but just stick around for the final reveal, guys, and you will see it. I have to say this did turn out quite cute. Now looking back on it, I wonder if maybe I should have painted it more in like a green color. But I was kind of trying to go with that whole tree bark look, you know, that part. So I don't know. I tried it, you know, that's all we can say. At least we tried. If we don't try, we don't know. So I still think it turned out cute in the end. I hope you guys think so. But yeah, I had a lot of fun making this one. I just wish I could have captured that water effect a little bit better. I don't know, maybe I should have used maybe blue hot glue to do that. I don't know. It'll come to me later. You know how you do some things and then when you're in that motion, it just doesn't hit you. But then after the fact, it's like, boom, this is what you should have did. But yeah, so I'm sure it'll come to me later. But here is our little peach crate. I think this looks absolutely adorable. It's so simple, so cute, but it's just such a cute little rustic charming piece to me. I do like peach decor. I don't see it a lot on YouTube, but I've done a peach tier tray before. I did a peach terracotta teacup. I do like peach decor. I know it's seasonal, but I do like it. I love the colors of it. But I think this is super cute. Look, it looks like the peaches are hanging down from the vine right there. Like, I love this piece. And Brandy's paper, oh my goodness, the vibrancy, the color is just outstanding. I will have her information in my description box if you guys want to go check out her website. It's very affordable. I love, you know, working with her product, but this is just absolutely adorable. It's a nice way to just juice up a little Dollar Tree, you know, crate if you have fun. And then here is our wall hanging piece. I think this is absolutely cute. And this, you know, you can add so many more to these. You can do a stack of 3, a stack of 4. The options are endless. I just wanted something simple, and you really can put this anywhere. This can go in the bathroom. You know, like I said, you can store stuff on top there. I'm sorry if you guys can hear that train. Sorry about that. But the options are endless here, and I just, you know, you could put, like I said, you could put LED candles on top of here. I really like the way this piece came together. So you guys have to let me know if you had a favorite of today. And here is terracotta teacup number 29. Again, I tried it. I don't know if I captured the whole fairy garden thing. I know it probably needed a gnome or something, but hopefully, you know, I captured a little bit of it, right? A teeny tiny bit, and I wish I could have got that water effect more to come through. I really do think had I did the lighter parts, maybe made it lighter, it would have shown up more, but I tried. And what I like to do, lovies, for those who are first time visitors here, I like to show every single terracotta teacup. We are running a terracotta teacup series. I like to show them all at the end of the video. Like I said early on, we are at number 29. Guys, we're one away from 30. So I like to put them all here in hopes that you guys will see something that will inspire you to recreate one. Go back and watch the video of how it was recreated, something, anything. But let me know if you guys had a favorite of today. And also, if you see a terracotta teacup in here that you absolutely love, I want to hear that too. And I always ask if you have any suggestions for any new ones. Please leave those in the comments. I will add them to the list. The list is huge, guys. I mean, I haven't even counted how many, but I know it's well over another 30 on that list today that we haven't even done yet. So keep that list coming, keep the suggestions coming. If I can play it out in my mind of how to make it come to life, I will definitely try to incorporate it into a video. But I am having the time of my life doing these for you guys. I'm so happy that you're receiving it. See, there go the fresh peaches teacup. I should have put it in display in the final reveal, but I forgot to pull it out. But anyway, let me know, guys, if you have a favorite of today. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting, because you guys know how I feel about those comments. I love to chat with you guys after each and every video, so keep the comments coming. Let's talk about today's video, lovies, and until the next video, be safe, be kind, hugs and kisses, XOXO, bye.